For somebody who's maybe on the fence of selling their home and they're just like, I just can't figure out this market, would you share with the listeners how many people are in your pipeline that are like, okay, I'm ready to buy a house. I've applied for a mortgage and I can't find a house. So they're waiting for this inventory to hit the market.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, just to give you an idea of how much demand there is versus how few houses there are, so far year to date, I've had 137 pre-approval applications and I've closed 24 loans.
Those are not good odds.
So, I mean, roughly 75% of the people that are contacting me wanting to buy a house have not purchased a home yet.
And it has way more to do with the availability of homes on the market as opposed to their desire to buy.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's commonplace that if people are making offers, there's multiple people offering on the property. Sometimes you don't get the first one or the second one or even the third one. You know, I had one gentleman just finally got his offer accepted. It was his 12th offer before he got a house. It was a low down payment buyer up in Bloomfield, really hot market up there in that Hartford County area. It's just super competitive if you want to get a house.
First-time home buyers, according to TD Bank, a survey that they just did, 39% of them say that now is a good time to buy. Despite where prices are, despite where the mortgage values are, 4 out of 10 first-time home buyers say right now is a good time to buy. They're thinking about it long-term. They've probably seen the chart that I've talked about a bunch where the last 4 decades, no matter what decade you look at, home values are up over 25%. That's even in the early 2000s. They went up over 80% before 2007, came down 40%. You were still up 40%. So when you're thinking about this from a 7, 10, 11, 12 year window of owning a home, most people in Connecticut own the home over 10 years, you're going to win. And 4 out of 10 first-time home buyers are saying, you know what, despite prices and rates being up, now's a good time to buy. That means it's a great time if you've got to sell a property to go ahead and make that move. You can reach out to us, oneteamct.com, if you have any questions about that. I think matching up the sellers with the moment of the market is something we've been talking about a lot. Lee, you list a lot of homes. What are you experiencing when you put a house on the market? What's the actual time frame? Because I think a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to list my house because it might happen too fast, or I don't want to be on the market too long, and I don't want to go through that process. What's the process been like right now listing homes?
I'm saying it really all depends on the seller and exactly what they're shooting for. If they're shooting for like a quick sale and they actually listen to the number that we recommend, right now we're seeing probably about 3 to 5 days they're selling with multiple offers, probably about 30 to 40 showings at the same time and only about 72 hours. But then I still do have some people that like to shoot above the market value and test the market to try to set a new high. And some of them are still setting a new high, but we're not seeing the activity that we did maybe like a year or two ago. So right now, I would say listing a property, as long as you list it correctly, you should have about 20 plus showings and you should hit multiple offers in about the first 72 hours.
And with those people that still are trying to kind of set the bar, so to speak, with setting the new high, are you having the conversation like, let's try this for a couple of weeks, but if not, are they realistic to understand they can take that opportunity, but they may have to pull the reins back, or are they trying to stay committed to that number and letting the market kind of speak differently to them?
Some of the sellers are trying to still test the market and they are aware. So anytime I go into a listing appointment, I tell them the facts and the truth and all the information. Yeah, exactly. All the data. And I just show them the comps and I say, hey, I understand you'd like to list here. Unfortunately, the comps are showing here. I'm more than happy to list you here. But unfortunately, if we don't have any activity or any offers within the first 30 days, I will recommend you to lower it down. I also do have a lot of sellers that like to shoot for the moon, and then they like to call me after about 2 weeks or like a month because they know the market's so hot and they hear everybody out there hearing multiple offers. And sometimes they'll call me and be like, how come my home's not selling? And unfortunately, I have to tell them, when we first met, we first sat down, I showed you the data, showed you the comps. Until we hit this number where we first met, I'm not really expecting any activity or any real offers to come in.
Well, and I like what you mentioned there, because that's the mindset that I use, right? 30 days, average days on market fluctuates between 27 and 32, depending on the month, right? So having that realistic 30-day window because then you're like, average days on market is here, right? If you haven't had action by the time we get to this point, now we have to have a bigger conversation and make an adjustment or an improvement on the price, because now the market has spoken and we now have the facts to back it up. So I like that mindset as well.
The listing is a great opportunity right now, because if you do list it at the appropriate price, you put yourself in a better position to have those multiple offers. And that's what, Brian Skelly, William Raveis Mortgage, that's what his pipeline looks like. It's like all these people who are, bidding on the same homes, because buyers are very savvy.